I think you need to have a drive and self-motivation. I think you need to be curious what is out there and know in one way what is out there and what possibilities are. So that's why I went to Milan and Paris, and I was encouraged, actually. I explained in the book the story, how I started and how I went then to Milan and Paris. And I was encouraged by my sister and my family. So that's how I started. And it was incredible. Now that I turn back, I feel like, wow, it's really at that young age that you go and you're just curious and you see what the possibilities are.
You were super young. What were you 16 when you went to Milan?
I started 16. No, not yet. I was 16 when I started modeling in Slovenia.
Mm-hmm.
And after I went to Italy for Cinecittà when I was 20, and then 22 when I went to Milan. So, of course, there were some models, they were much younger, but they had parents with them. Mm. And when I arrived to Milan, I was all alone, and I had agency, and you on your own 2 feet and taking care of yourself. And in the world of all of the strangers, you need to be very cautious. You need to be smart and also trust in yourself and listening your intuition.
What was the fashion scene like in Milan during those days? When you talk about being cautious, it was pretty wild back in the day.
It was, yes.
What were you exposed to? What did you see back then in Milan specifically?
Yeah, it was very different. It was, nobody looked after you. You had the agent, but you were on your own. Mm. And was very different that fashion industry that it's nowadays.
Yeah.
It's, some models, they could be swayed away and into partying and into drugs, and could become a very dangerous world.
So you saw that? You were exposed
I saw that, yes, of course.
And you walked away from it all?
I knew that kind of world doesn't bring any positive outcome. It damages your mind. It's not good for your career. I went into that modeling career as a professional, mm-hmm. and I want to stay that way. And I saw many girls, young girls, that kind of life, dangerous life, eat them up in one way.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean,
yes.
We saw that happen, for like decades, actually. Yes. It went on and on. The business, I think, still is a tough business for girls mm-hmm. in particular. I don't think it's easy. But you were like really motivated, very focused. Like I get such a kick out of the story about you decided you were able in Milan, according to the story in the book, mm-hmm. you were able to determine who the number one top agent was in the world, Ricardo Guy. I forget who he represented back then.
Yeah, many models, but yes.
Literally the top models on the planet.
Yes.
He was the best. And you decided you were going to go to Ricardo Guy, get an appointment, and have him represent you. That was your goal.
First, I had the agency, and I was with them for a few months. And I felt in myself I have a better potential. I could do much better than what they were doing for me. And that the clients that I saw. So I decided that I will make an appointment with Ricardo Guy. And at that time, he was one of the best in the industry. So I made an appointment with the agency and with him for a casting call, as if they would represent me. So I sat, when I arrived, everybody were very warm, very nice. And they brought me to his office, and it was a very professional meeting. He saw my portfolio, and I knew at that time that my images and my photos, they were not the best, but I knew that if I have the right team around me, could be much better. So he saw those photos and he said that he would love to represent me. He saw the potential.
Were you frustrated with what was happening with the agent that you had, and then you decided, I'm determined, I'm going to make a better life for myself, I'm going to the best agent?
Yes, of course. That's why I went to Ricardo Guy.
Right. But I mean, that's a tough decision. It's not like you could just knock on Ricardo Guy's door and get in and get an appointment. You got the appointment and you got the gig.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean,
it was
that's
very
amazing.
Exciting. Yes.
So you were in like all of the fashion capitals of the world. You went like Milan, Paris, and then you decided one day you're moving to New York City. You just get on the plane, fly to New York City, get out at JFK. You see the beautiful skyline. You're coming into the city. English is not your first language. I remember like the days where JFK was just nuts in the international, right? Like 2 lines. If you were a resident of the United States, you went through 1 line, you were in the other line. You get in the car, you come to New York City, and you didn't go to your home?
I didn't go to my home because the agency got me my first home. So I went directly to the agency and start organizing my portfolio, copying everything what we need, sign the contract, making sure that I got all of the right papers because you need to apply for visa. So I start right away working on that. So because it takes time, and I didn't want to lose the momentum. I didn't want to lose the time. So I started right away. Those were a few hours in the afternoon. You are jet lagged, and that's okay. You go. You don't miss the hours.
Yeah, but that's not like a normal thing. I mean, people would go home first, relax. Like you're making it sound like you're jet lagged, but you get going right away. That's like very atypical for a person to do that.
But it was very exciting time. And as I said, you need to have a drive. You cannot just sit around because in life, nobody will bring you anything. If you don't go and do it yourself, nobody, as they say, will knock on your door. You need to go out there and, be your own, and on your own that you kind of knock on the doors.